Hello everyone, hello Cassie, hello Leah, hello Crystal, hello Hour, welcome to stream, welcome. Today we are going to be watching and pretty much understanding the weirdest, the most interesting lore and timeline. We're just gonna watch lore videos because I've always wanted to pretty much understand some weird gaming lore, maybe some actual lore, real lore, and some gaming lore here and there. But you know what? We're just gonna chat. We're gonna chill for a bit, and then we're gonna get into it. But nice boots, yes, they are nice boots. I have to thank my mama, my freaking artist mama, for that. Like, she straight up, I asked her to draw me in shoes, and that's what she gave me. And I'm looking, and I'm like, you know what? I'll actually wear them. Like, I won't lie. Is it me, or because COVID freaking happened, I don't wear shoes that often? Because I remember before COVID, I wore shoes almost every day because work, or I was either going out with friends. But since like literally COVID, all I've been wearing are slippers. I straight up only been wearing slippers. Like, I would go to work in slippers. I would literally just not give a shit and just like literally go work in slippers. Anywhere I go is just in slippers or sandals. That's all I wear. I just wear like freaking comfy shit now. I'm like, I haven't wore socks unless I'm actually working out. I only wear shoes when I'm working out or when I go run. That's the only time you ever see me with a pair of shoes. And it's just really weird nowadays wearing shoes. Like, shoes are so freaking restrictive. I'm just like, I like my feet to breathe. I like breathability in my feet. Don't really know why. No, I know why. It's just nice. It's just nice. It's cool. I'm not freaking wrapped up in all the shoe stuff anymore. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. If I'm not mistaken, in Honkai Star Rail, the new character came out in Honkai, right? Lu Chao? Lu Cao? Whatever his name is. I summoned for him. I don't want to summon for the new character because freaking Kafka's coming out. Wait, Blaze coming out. I don't want to spend money though. I've been free to play for so long, and I'm like, if I spend and I don't hit Lu Chao or whatever his name is, it's gonna feel so bad because I want Kafka. I want the priestess after Kafka, and I want freaking whatever that freaking ice girl or freaking ice freaking girl is that Amelie voices. I want all three of them. They're probably coming back to back to back. So I'm just like, bro, I'm gonna get railed in summons. I have 180 summons. Yeah, I have 180 summons, right? I have 180 summons. I have one guarantee, and my ass, I'm gonna have to 180 something sooner or later. I hope it's not on Kafka because I want every character after. But please just hope for the pray for the love of God, for the love of God, just make it. I hope my luck doesn't run out. I really do. Uh, I've also been playing Diablo 4. The patch from Diablo 4 wasn't bad either. Diablo 4 patch wasn't bad. I don't think Diablo 4, the patch was that bad, right? The patch notes actually fixed a lot of things. Still, whoa. I played it a bit. I won't probably play it until the next season. That's about it. I heard that if you say the name of characters in Honkai, you summon the head. God damn. It's just the same shit. It's like, dude, you play Genshin, just say all the Genshin's character. You summon, you summon Satan himself. That's how it works, right? That's how it works. You know what? To be fair, the gacha games, I'm not surprised. Freaking, I've been playing gacha games for freaking, I don't know how long. How long have I been playing gacha games? For like ages. I've been playing gacha games forever. Like, I love how a lot of people didn't find out what gacha games were until Genshin. And when I played Genshin, people are like, dude, the rates are bad. I'm like, welcome to gacha. I play Summoner's War. They barely gave shit. Well, they gave a lot of good stuff in Summoner's War, but you literally couldn't. It was ass. The rates were ass. Like, I play gacha games where you absolutely get railed. You get railed to a point. Freaking Summoner War, there's no pity. There's still no pity if I'm not mistaken. Oh, freaking what other game is there? Like, I played so many gacha games where they didn't give pity. Freaking the beginning, I think Epic 7 didn't have pity until like 3-4 months in. Like there's so many games I've played that I'm just like I lose my absolute mind over. And now I think back on it, I'm like, wow, I did spend. No, I can't say I didn't spend money on. I only spend money on Summoner's War and Genshin. Yeah, those are the only two gacha games I actually spend money on. But to be fair, I played Summer's War like I didn't play on release. I did not play on release. 2015? Yeah, release of Summer's War was 2014, right? It was like 2014 or something. No wait. Summoner's War release date. When did it come out? 2014. I didn't play on release. I played on like 2016. I played it like 1-2 years after release. I did not. Yeah. I played Summer's War like 2015, 2016. I don't play anymore. I played for like a good amount of time. The great part is I got to a point where Summer's War I can go back in and I still can be perfectly fine. Like I know I play and then I take a break. I play and I take a break. I noticed that when people get burnt out on games and they just leave forever, I'm like, I understand. I do that too. Most games I do that too. Summer's War is a game that I randomly come back to here and there. I think I played it like 4 or 5 months ago because I had nothing to do. Now my guilty freaking game that I come back to is Lost Ark. Like the funny thing is, if you played Lost Ark, it's a MMO, freaking just like WoW, just like Final Fantasy 14 online. You play the game. I played the game since release. I think I played it for 4 months. Grinded the shit out of Lost Ark. Like literally worked, got off work, played Lost Ark. Got off work, played Lost Ark. Friends got on, redid raids. Like I literally all I did for like 4 months. I took a break. I came back during Christmas. A little bit before Christmas. Played for like 2-3 months. Took a break. And think yeah, took a break in like February. I came back like beginning of this month. And I've been playing. I'm like, I like MMOs where I just can come back and be like, all right, how I have like 3 mil. I'm just gonna spend hit whatever I need and just join the raids. Which Lost Ark isn't that great because no one helps, but you know it's fine. I play a lot of weird games. I play a lot of weird games. I also played almost every single gacha game. If you guys within my, I think it was my TikTok, right? Or freaking no, my short, one of my TikTok or shorts. Freaking, I created that. And I'm like, bro, I just noticed I played literally. I won't say I played all of them. I think I played 95% of all gacha games. If you say a gacha game, I might not remember like the name of the game, but once I see an image, I'll probably remember what the fuck is that. Like, I remember 95% of the gacha games I played. The pictures, I don't remember the name. 95 of the picture, like I remember I played them. Some were better than others. Some were complete horseshit. But yeah. All right, let's get into the random freaking lore videos. The videos that I did not expect. The videos that I don't know about. I don't know about most of these games. Or I do. I kind of do. A bit. Not a lot. A bit. Okay, let me just remove this. Remove this. Right here? Nope, that's not it. The one under it. There you go. Alright. We're gonna enjoy, what was it? Freaking the simplified Kingdom Hearts lore. We're understanding the timeline of Kingdom Hearts. Very simplified. I know freaking Kingdom Hearts lore is like freaking 20 million, thousand, trillion. Oh wait, I messed something up. I definitely did. Alright, give me a sec. I definitely messed something up there. What happened? Why is my... Huh. Yep, this got out of... How am I supposed to fix this? Here, right here? This should fix it? There you go. That was weird. Kingdom Hearts lore, if you don't know, Kingdom Hearts is a collaboration game between Square Enix and Disney, which The lore is as confusing as you can possibly imagine. Like, when you explain to me what Kingdom Heart lore is, I have no idea. I played the game. I played 1, 2, 3. 4 came out recently, right? I haven't played 4. I played a bit of the PSP game, not a lot. But I remember watching a video of someone explaining it to me, so I understand it a bit, but it's still confusing as shit. Like, I don't understand Kingdom Hearts lore still. And I played the game, and I freaking love it. I say I love Kingdom Hearts, but I don't know what the heck is going on 95% of the time. I don't know what happens 95% of the time. So you know what? Let's get into it and see. What is Kingdom Hearts lore? Jesus Christ, that's loud.
Kingdom Hearts 1 was first released... Kingdom Hearts 1 was first released in 2002, and it's only 16 years later that we're finally getting Kingdom Hearts 3.
Wait. Kingdom Hearts 3 release date. I thought it was Kingdom Hearts 4. Oh. Wait, did Kingdom Hearts 4 not release, or that... Was Kingdom Hearts 3 the game I skipped then? I think I skipped Kingdom Hearts 3 then. Oh, I skipped Kingdom Hearts 3. Jesus Christ. I remember me playing 1.1, 1.2, 2.5. They had so many games. I get confused by it, but yeah.
Why so long, Square? They knew we needed all the time to figure out what the heck was going on in this lovable but convoluted mess of a series. If you've lost track of the story, forgotten it, or never understood it in the first place, then don't worry, we got you. I'm Sydney with the leaderboard, and today we are going to try to untangle the mess of a story that is Kingdom Hearts. We're going to cover the main storylines from Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, Chain of Memories, Dream Drop Distance, and a fragmentary passage. This might seem like a lot, but we're cutting this down from 11 games to 6 to give you the simplified version.
Wait.
Pray for us.
What games? They skipped the 1.5, 2.5, right? That's what I said? Because... Wait, explain to me what games?
Tangle the mess of a story that is Kingdom Hearts.
What games?
We're going to cover the main storylines from Birth by Sleep, Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, Chain of Memories, Dream Drop Distance, and a fragmentary passage. This might seem like a lot.
When did this video come out? 4 years ago. Okay. That actually makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. They made it before the release of Kingdom Hearts 3 for people to play.
But we're cutting this down from 11 games to 6 to give you the simplified version. Pray for us, fam. Birth by Sleep. In the beginning, there was one world that lay under the blue light of Kingdom Hearts, a kind of heaven for hearts and a source of great power. To access it, you needed the Keyblade, the original weapon that all Keyblades are made in the image of. The power of the Keyblade is what allows the original Keyblade masters to make their weapons by pulling them out from their hearts. How do you even fit that in there? Predictably, there was a great battle to control the Keyblade that came to be known as the Keyblade War. The Keyblade masters of Light and Dark battled and ended up shattering the Keyblade into 20 pieces, 7 of pure light and 13 of pure darkness. In the chaos, the world split apart, fragmenting into many disconnected worlds. And this is why we can't have nice things. Now comes to the fairly confusing part, Xehanort. You would think Xehanort is the classic bad guy, a radical that thinks there's too much light in the world and wants to tamp it down with his shade. His goal in life is to forge the Keyblade.
If Fortnite is somehow able to get their hands on Kingdom Hearts, that'll be one of the most insane things ever. I'll be like, holy shit. To be fair, I do like playing Fortnite. I enjoy playing Fortnite. I love just going in now and playing their no build mode. Really fun. Really
start the Keyblade Wars and open up Kingdom Hearts to create a world that's equal parts dark and light. Seems simple enough? Well, it would be, if not for the fact that Xehanort has the power to possess people and create different versions of himself. On top of that, he can travel through time. He's like the Ganon of Kingdom Hearts. Dude is just everywhere. In Birth by Sleep, Xehanort version 1 is getting old.
That's actually a really good explanation. He's the Ganon of Kingdom Hearts. That's actually not a bad explanation.
Older, so he takes on an apprentice, Ventus, to use him as a vessel for his aging heart. Unfortunately for Xehanort, Ventus refuses to use the darkness to fight. Like any disappointed father, Xehanort loses his patience and whips out his own Keyblade to draw out the darkness from Ventus's heart. The result is a being of pure darkness, Vanitas. Xehanort brings a now comatose Ventus to Destiny Island to die. But over there, Ventus's heart is mended by Sora's, and Ventus survives. Now, in an awkward spot, Xehanort sends his not-so-dead apprentice to the land of departure to be trained as a Keyblade master. There, Ventus meets his two new BFFs, Terra and Aqua, who are also training to be Keyblade masters. Unfortunately for Terra, Xehanort eyes him over like Voldemort spotting a Horcrux, and sizes him up as the new, perfect vessel for his heart. Terra and Aqua both have separate encounters with little children Riku and Kairi, causing Riku to become Terra's Keyblade successor, and for Kairi to be Aqua's. In the meantime, Vanitas merges with Ventus.
That makes Roxas. Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Taking control over him and creating the Keyblade in the process. Ventus, now Vanitas, is out of control, but is stopped by Aqua and special guest star Mickey Mouse,
Mickey Mouse.
Also a Keyblade master. It's definitely not weird.
So, you know, think about it, yeah, it's weird that Mickey is a Keyblade master. It's so interesting.
That Mickey is there. Throughout the story, Xehanort manipulates Terra to bring out his darkness, eventually challenging him to a final showdown at the Keyblade graveyard. Terra fails Psychology 101 and falls for the trap, releasing all his darkness and beating Xehanort. But that crafty bastard Xehanort uses the Keyblade to transfer his heart to Terra's body. Welcome to the world, Terra Xehanort. Meanwhile, Ventus rebels against Vanitas' control, causing the Keyblade to become unstable. The blade eventually explodes, putting Ventus into a deep sleep to heal. Aqua locks his body up tight in the newly formed Castle Oblivion, while his heart goes to heal inside Sora, like a surprise houseguest. Let's just accept that hearts are more mobile than one would expect. In Radiant Garden, Terra is fighting an internal battle against Xehanort version 2. Aqua, the real MVP of Birth by Sleep, fights off Terra Xehanort, who then turns his Keyblade on himself and accidentally lets out some of his darkness to drag him down into the realm of darkness.
She goes for him.
Sure, Xehanort gets away, but he'll come back and bite us in the ass later. Don't you worry. But by this time, an unconscious Terra Xehanort is falling into the realm of darkness. To save him, Aqua sacrifices herself to the darkness. No, I'm not crying. You're crying.
Yep, I remember hearing about this. I was like, oh my god, Aqua. Aqua is the true MVP. She's freaking goated. Sacrifices her friend.
Xehanort version 2 is still alive and is still a dick. He's discovered by Ansem the Wise, who takes him in as his apprentice. Xehanort has lost his memories, but is still obsessed with controlling the power of darkness and opening up Kingdom Hearts. He discovers a way to extract the darkness from a heart that creates a being known as a Heartless, and as a byproduct, a nobody. A nobody is an empty shell of a body without a heart, much like me in college. After betraying Ansem the Not-So-Wise, because of course he does, by banishing him to the realm of darkness, Xehanort extracts the darkness out of himself and the other apprentices. This creates a bunch of Heartless and Nobodies, which sets up the beginnings of Organization 13. Yep. Just a quick aside to clear things up before we jump into the original game. Xehanort's Heartless is called Ansem, Seeker of Darkness, who becomes needlessly confusing later on, while his Nobody is called Xemnas, for no reason except to add additional confusion to the storyline. Just to be clear again, there is now—
Jesus Christ, Kingdom Hearts were so confusing. You combine him, you get him, then you combine Amnesia, you get the Doctor, and then you split them apart and you get two— oh my god.
Now a real person named Ansem the Wise, and a completely separate Heartless also named Ansem. Not the same person. Thanks, Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts 1. Now back to the main story. We come to the very first game of the series, Kingdom Hearts 1. Looking back, I'm actually nostalgic for a time when I didn't know all about the convoluted background plots. It was just about a heroic boy increasing the merchandising capital of Disney's franchise characters and saving the world with a giant key. It's now 10 years later, after the events of Birth by Sleep, and three best friends, Sora, Riku, and Kairi, are living their best life on Destiny Island. One night, the island is attacked by a mysterious force of darkness, separating the three friends. Our main man, Sora, scores a nifty Keyblade in the ensuing chaos, and ends up in Traverse Town. There, he meets Goofy and Donald. Those two are looking for King Mickey, who has gone to battle the Heartless, leaving Goofy and Donald to search for the key. Hey, Sora's got one of those, so—
the key. They do too.
They decide to join forces to defend worlds from the Heartless and search for Riku, Kairi, and King Mickey. Of course, it wouldn't be a fairy tale without a big bad. Enter Maleficent, head honcho of the Green Flames of Evil in Sleeping Beauty. She's looking for a way to access Kingdom Hearts, but to do so, she needs the 7 Princesses of Heart, each protected by a fragment of pure light that broke off from the original Keyblade. Together, they can reveal the final keyhole that will lead the way to Kingdom Hearts.
Kairi?
I'ma let you finish, but Ariel deserves to be one of those Princesses of Heart. After eventually clearing out the Heartless from the various worlds and locking up their keyholes, the gang finds themselves at Hollow Bastion, Maleficent HQ, and homeworld of Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. As it turns out, Ansem has been puppet mastering the whole series of events. In true Ansem fashion, he uses his favorite move, betrayal. It's super effective. He uses Sora's best friend Riku to battle him, only to disappear into the darkness. Riku, now possessed by Ansem, shows Sora Kairi's motionless body. It turns out that her heart got separated from her body during the destruction of Destiny Island, and is now residing in Sora. If you remember, Ventus's heart is also in Sora.
Dude,
I'm not sure how many hearts Sora can fit, but he should start charging rent. To seal
Sora is literally just a freaking... They're using his body like a freaking rental. Holy
keyhole
shit.
to Hollow Bastion, Sora releases Kairi's heart from his body, using Ansem's nearby heart-unlocking Keyblade. Both Sora and Kairi's hearts float out of Sora, turning him into a cute little black bug of a Heartless. Is this insulting? Sora's not even the stronger Heartless creatures. He's like a foot soldier Heartless. Like any good Disney movie, the power of friendship saves the day. And Kairi, the last Princess of Heart, heals Sora with her magic hug to return him to human form. The group tracks Ansem to the end of the world, where they get ready to battle all of his annoying forms, only to have him mock you by battling shirtless at the end. After what feels like hours of battling, he still manages to open the door to darkness in an attempt to prove that Kingdom Hearts is filled with darkness. Joke's on him though, what Ansem thought was the source of ultimate darkness ends up being a source of light, and it kills him. Somehow. Inside the door is the realm of darkness, and, Mickey and
Wait, inside the realm of light is a realm of darkness. I don't know how that works for sure.
Non-possessed Riku are here too. Together, they all shut the door to darkness, sealing away any more heartless threats on the worlds. Aqua eventually runs into King Mickey, who has been trying to lock keyholes in the realm of darkness. If Aqua were to leave through one of those doors to light, the darkness will keep escaping into the real world. So she continues to fight the good fight and lock keyholes from the dark side. But we'll get back to her later. By the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, all 3 friends aren't much better than when they started. Riku is in the realm of darkness, Kairi is back on Destiny Island, and Sora is still without his friends. Cue the Kingdom Hearts theme song, simple and clean. The irony of that title is stifling. Chain of Memories. Let's backtrack a bit to the ending of Kingdom Hearts 1, when Sora split his heart from his body.
Dude,
By doing so, he created the byproducts of Heartless, the Nobodies. From his own heart, a nobody called Roxas was created, and for Kairi's heart, one called Namine. Namine is at Castle Oblivion, which has been commandeered by the now active Organization 13. In Twilight Town, Roxas is recruited into Organization 13 by Xemnas, Xehanort's nobody. Organization 13 is made up of nobodies, which supposedly have no feelings, but it seems like they're pretty moody about all the betrayal and subterfuge. At this point, the organization is divided between Team Vexen and Team Marluxia of the Cotton Candy Hair. This series really likes names with X in them. Marluxia's crew sees a chance to use Sora to defeat their rivals and take over the organization. Marluxia lures Sora over to Castle Oblivion, where they can use the captured Namine memory manipulation powers to incept Sora into taking down Xemnas. On the other side of the pitch, Team Vexen has their own contender, Riku, or rather, a Riku replica that Vexen copies from data he obtained on Riku. The Riku copy is sent to fight Sora, while the real Riku, who managed to find himself in Castle Oblivion, fights his way through the castle. Riku eventually succumbs to using the power of his darkness, still lingering from Ansem's last possession, leaving him vulnerable again to Ansem's greedy body snatching. They fight, and Ansem is destroyed, but not before he creepily states that a part of him is still in Riku. Go away, Ansem. Completely oblivious as to what's happening with the real Riku, Sora eventually gets his memories restored by Namine. There's also this whole subplot happening in Organization 13 with the people in black hoods who have unpronounceable names, but just know that they end up betraying each other, mostly due to Axel, and they're down 5 by the end of the game. Got it memorized? 358 days over 2. Some of 358 Days Over 2 takes place after the events of Chain of Memories and bears heavily on the story of Kingdom Hearts 2. Xion has been made a failsafe Keyblade wielder in the event that Sora or Roxas can't be used by Organization 13. As part of Xion's transformation, she absorbs Sora's memories as he loses his own in Chain of Memories. Sora's memories also leak into Roxas. Because Xion and Roxas now hold some of Sora's memories, Sora's memory can't be fully restored. To remedy the situation, Xion forces Roxas to defeat her so that Roxas can continue to live and to prevent Sora from being trapped in sleep. After the battle, Roxas returns to the world that never was, intending to set Kingdom Hearts free. Roxas is attacked by Neo Shadow Heartless, and then Riku appears and helps Roxas battle against the baddies. Immediately after defeating their foes, however, Riku and Roxas decide to duke it out themselves. Roxas initially wins the battle, but Riku releases his darkness and transforms into Ansem, Seeker of Darkness. Ansem's guardian grabs Roxas and chokes him until he passes out. Ansem the Wise appears on the scene and brings Roxas to a digital version of Twilight Town. Kingdom Hearts 2. So we're all pretty much confused at this point, but not to worry, so are the characters in the game. By this time, Roxas has lost his memory and started life anew in a digital version of Twilight Town. Life goes on for Roxas in an endless haze of summer, blue popsicles, and pseudo-voyeuristic dreams of Sora, until one day, Axel, Roxas's old pal from Organization 13, tracks Roxas down to bring him back to the fold. It's quite an emotional roller coaster as we learn from Naminé that Roxas's true purpose is to just end up inside Sora. Accepting his fate, Roxas is absorbed, and we say goodbye to an extremely likable character. Cue those fiery hot Axel tears. Sora awakens with no memory of what happened in Chain of Memories. He's tasked by the sorcerer Yen Sid to defend the worlds against Heartless, little silverfish nobodies, and the big lunker nobodies in Organization 13. All cut and dry? Not with Kingdom Hearts. It turns out even the evil factions have evil factions. The first is Organization 13, who wants to use Sora's Keyblade to capture the hearts of the Heartless and build the new Kingdom Hearts. That way, they can populate the Heartless voids of the nobodies so that they can become whole again. But that's all a lie that Xemnas told them. I want to just throw my computer to the floor after reading that. Also, all these Organization 13 nobodies are suddenly confronted by Sora, who just absorbed Roxas out of existence, so they're a bit mad about that. On the other side is Axel, who seems to be playing a sort of double agent role. Even before this point, Axel and Roxas's relationship causes Axel to distrust the organization and work on his own plan. The last faction is headed by the recently revived Maleficent, who somehow survives her death in Kingdom Hearts 1 and wants to bring all the worlds under her control. Basic evil villain stuff. As Sora continues to free the worlds from Heartless and nobodies, he discovers the digital world of Twilight Town that Roxas had been living in. Unfortunately, due to some sort of invitation mix-up, the world is overrun with nobodies, and Axel jumps in to sacrifice himself in a blaze of glory. Yes, Axel is there. He misses Roxas and was following Sora around because he reminded him of his buddy. Aww,
Axel. The OG.
Before he dies, Axel opens a door to the home of Organization 13 in the world that never was. After scaling Organization's stronghold, the castle that never was, Sora and Riku find Xemnas, and so they enter into another soul-crushing
where did Riku come from? Where the heck did Riku come from?
Battle with all of Xemnas' annoying forms. Xemnas is defeated, well, for now, and our heroes are rewarded with the door to light opening via a heart-to-heart connection between Sora and Kairi. Riku and Sora enter the door to light, finding themselves back home on Destiny Islands. Here, our trio of friends are finally reunited.
Back together again.
I'm so happy. Dream drop distance.
Yes.
The end of Kingdom Hearts 2 is great. Everything is wrapped up in a neat little bow. But as you've guessed by now, there's no such thing as a happy ending in this fairy tale. It doesn't even matter how hard you try to get rid of him. Xehanort keeps coming back. So it turns out that by destroying both his Heartless form, Ansem, and his Nobody form, Xemnas, Xehanort is now able to merge and reconstruct his original form, Master Xehanort.
That does not make sense.
Why? Damn it, Nomura! By the same logic, because you've killed the nobodies of Organization 13, their real bodies have been revived, including Axel. Yay! All the members also retain all their memories of being nobodies, which doesn't really make sense either. Anywho, Axel, now called Lee, wants to make up for the lost less time being a nobody and start studying to become a Keyblade wielder. On the light side, in order to face Xehanort, Sora and Riku need to level up their game and achieve the rank of Keyblade Master by undergoing the Mark of Mastery test. Both boys are sent to the previously destroyed worlds that are in a state of deep sleep. Predictably, you'll be going there to unlock some giant floating keyholes. Now, things get even more complicated. Sora and Riku get separated in the dream world, but are still affected by each other. They're in sleeping worlds that look familiar, but also exist in their memories. Their worlds are different, and they cross between them. Oh, and each world has different realms of dreams that exist at the same time as each other, a kind of multiverse thing. Did you get all that? Don't worry, I'm sure nobody really does. That's why the creatures are so colorful and distracting. It's to stop you from going insane trying to understand this story. When they get split up, Riku enters Sora's dreams, and Sora journeys to the dream world. In Sora's dreams, Riku defeats the nightmares inside Sora, while Sora goes to lock up some keyholes in the dream world. We get a lot of reruns of old characters, including Xehanort in all his forms. Amazingly, every form of Xehanort is a dick. There's also a new one now, young Xehanort, who is also a dick. Remember when I mentioned that Xehanort can travel through time? It turns out that he instructed his younger self to gather 13 incarnations of himself to be the 13 Seekers of Darkness. Why 13, you ask? Xehanort believes that by creating 13 beings of darkness to fight with 7 guardians of light, he can restart the Keyblade War and recreate the Keyblade, thus opening up Kingdom Hearts and getting all that power inside. After Sora seals up the Dream World keyholes, he finds himself back in the world that never was, home base of Organization 13. Here, Sora gets trapped in a dream version of the world that never was, and starts tripping out, leaving his heart vulnerable to Xehanort, who's been eyeing him up as his 13th and final vessel. Sora battles Dream Xemnas and manages to win, but his heart is too damaged, and he falls into a coma. Remember Ventus, the pretty boy that Xehanort discarded in Birth by Sleep? His heart has been residing in Sora this entire time. The moment that Sora's heart fails, Ventus protects it by wrapping it up in Keyblade armor. Thanks, Ben. While Sora sleeps, Riku arrives at the world that never was, where Ansem tries to get him to join the dark side again. If Ansem ends up being Riku's father, that pretty much confirms a Star Wars world in Kingdom Hearts 3. Predictably, Riku doesn't accept and ends up having to fight a lot of different Xehanorts. After more dream world hopping and nightmare fighting, Sora reawakens to disappointing news. Only Riku has earned the title of Keyblade Master. Come on, Yen Sid. Sora closed all those keyholes and fell into a coma for your silly quest. 0.2 Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. With a title just as confusing as the story itself, a fragmentary passage is the last game on the timeline before we reach Kingdom Hearts 3. This time, the spotlight is on our MVP Aqua, who really got the short end of the stick back in Birth by Sleep. She's been alive the whole time, but she was trapped in the realm of darkness. As Xehanort is trying to raise his 13 beings of darkness, so too must the members of the light raise their 7 guardians. By the end of Birth by Sleep, Aqua is left wandering the surprisingly pretty realm of darkness. In a world without time and full of scary mirror people, she's left to fight the doubts in her own heart, manifested in real life. It wouldn't be a realm of darkness without huge armies of Heartless blocking her path. But Aqua battles them, never losing her drive to see her friends Terra and Ventus again. After the events of Dream Drop Distance, Mickey and Riku, now both masters, are both strong enough and head off to save Aqua. In the meantime, as a prelude to Kingdom Hearts 3, a much weakened Sora needs to regain his power for the upcoming fight. He's sent to visit his old pal Hercules, who'll take him from zero to hero just like that. So that's everything we could fit into our simplified Kingdom Hearts timeline. I hope you're all caught up for Kingdom Hearts 3.
So, we have to know Kingdom Hearts 3 lore now, right? We know 1 and 2. What is Kingdom Hearts 3 lore? What is this? What's the fastest lore of Kingdom Hearts 3? You know what?
This video is brought to you in part by me, because I made this. Welcome to a good enough summary of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Give me a good enough summary.
You might be here because you just can't be bothered to play Kingdom Hearts 3, or maybe it's the year 2082 and you're looking for a refresher before Kingdom Hearts 4 comes out. Hi kids, it's me, your Grand Pep in the past. If you're confused and lost, well I mean we all are, but you should probably watch my other video first covering everything up to this point. Alright then, let's do this.
Alright, give me the lore.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Last we saw Sora, he was getting told by Yen Sid to get good. His main task is to relearn the power of waking, which will allow him to help those jumbled up hearts inside of him in Angelia's jam once and for all. I guess that's technically what he did with
Okay, I won't lie. Did the other video have like Kingdom Hearts 3 The leaderboard. Okay. The leaderboard. Kingdom Hearts 3. Exactly. Did they do it? No, they did not, did they? I don't think so. Well, we're gonna watch this one then. Okay.
Kairi's heart back in Kingdom Hearts 1, but with the power of waking, he shouldn't have to poke his soft underbelly and turn into a bug. Yen Sid gives everybody who matters new clothing and sends them off.
Oh, also be on the lookout for Keyblade wielders. We need like 2 more to get to 7,
he says. Sora, Donald, and Goofy fly through a bunch of completely arbitrary Disney worlds that once again do not matter in the slightest, and Sora learns absolutely nothing about the power of waking.
Monster Inc.
Jack Sparrow is actually a bunch of crabs in a trench coat, and Rex from Toy Story is obsessed with this hot new video game you wish you were playing instead called Verum Rex. Wait, is he obsessed with it because he thinks it's about him? Oh, and you can make Olaf.
Sure.
Also, Maleficent and Pete are back, and they're looking for a box. They don't find it.
Look for a box.
Along the way, we're reintroduced to the real Organization 13 and learn who the rest of the members are. Disappointingly, they're all characters we already know. Boo! In addition to the Norts we saw in Dream Drop Distance, there's Larxene, Marluxia, Luxord, Vexen, and Demyx. But now they all have yellow eyes, yo-oh! Also joining the gang is Vanitas from Birth by Sleep and Dark Riku, a time-traveling replica Riku from Chain of Memories. This is a different Riku than the replica Riku we met in Castle Oblivion, and we know this because that replica Riku is hanging out inside of the original Riku like a teenager loitering outside of 7-Eleven. There's also a hand-wavy explanation as to why Ansem and Xemnas blowing up revived old man Xehanort instead of Terranort, but don't worry about it because Terranort is back too, and there's even another hooded figure we'll get to later. This is way more than 13? There's too many hooded figures in this game. Some of the other former members of Organization 13 decided to be good and stay as somebodies. They hang out back at Ansem the Wise's place and dig through his stuff and find his naughty magazines. They text Sora old memes sometimes. The somebodies figure out what we learned like 3 games ago, that Sora has all these hearts jellying up his jam. Sora's like, I don't know if any of them even technically count as people, but we gotta help them out. He sets out to free Roxas because, ew, girls are icky, but he runs into a problem. For one, Roxas doesn't have a body anymore, and for 2, Sora doesn't know how to release Roxas's heart. Wait, hold up, since when do nobodies have hearts? I thought the whole point was that they're a shell without a heart. You know what? I have no more fight left in me. It's fine. Wrongest hood in this plot is convoluted. Roxas's friends show up and are like, hey, we don't remember Roxas because we were only friends with him inside a computer. And Sora's like, oh yeah, there should be a copy of his heart in the computer. But they don't know Ansem's password. Beep boop sad toot. Meanwhile, Riku and Mickey are so bad at rescuing Aqua that she turns into anti-Aqua. Which is actually fine because, I mean, she's rocking it. Mickey goes, what happened? And she's like, I was trapped here for 10 years and turned evil and got this sweet outfit. What took you so long? And Riku's like, I couldn't find my big car, my bad, lol. Sora pops out of a portal and helps his boyfriend Riku beat up Darkwa with the power of the Gay Blade TM. They unlock Aqua's face so hard she turns good again.
Why?
They zip over to Castle Oblivion and Aqua turns it back into the land of departure and they find Sleepy Ventus right where she left him having a big ol' nap. Sora tries to use the power of waking, but Vanitas pops up and attacks Aqua. He's like, heh heh, and she's like, oh no. Suddenly, Sora learns the actual power of waking because, you know, they had an opportunity to make the Disney worlds relevant, but no, you know what, now is fine, this'll do. Sure. Ventus's heart poots out of Sora and into Ventus, and Ventus wakes up. He jumps in front of Vanitas and goes, remember me? And Vanitas goes, oh, that's cute, because that's what I said in Birth by Sleep when Ventus pops him on the noggin. Ow. Did you too? Elsewhere, Vexen grabs Demyx and is like, wait, I forgot Xehanort isn't even a real goth. Let's bounce. What do you mean? You willingly came back and let yourself get Norda. I'm a double agent. I'm working for Ansem the Wise. Let's go. And on their way out, they steal an empty replica body for Roxas. For later. Oh, and Ansem the Wise is totally fine and wandering about in the background, but he barely does anything, so don't worry about him. Back at Yen Sid's place, the 7 Guardians of Light are finally assembled. Sora, Riku, Mickey, Aqua, and Ventus are joined by Kairi and Lee, who spent 10 hyperbolic time chamber minutes in Merlin's moon bounce, so they're totally trained and up to the task. Yen Sid goes, son of a Disney is the
Dude, the Kingdom Hearts 3 lore is so... Yeah, I see why people don't understand. When you say watch Kingdom Hearts 3, do you understand the lore? No. Because it's so... I'm like... We're trying to understand this. I don't understand what's going on anymore.
This really the best we have. Okay, y'all ready to fight Xehanort?
Wait, Mr. Ian Sid, says Goofy. If the 7 and the 13 fight each other, then that'll summon the Keyblade, right?
Yes, what's your point?
So if we don't fight them, then Xehanort can never win.
Wow,
That
Goofy,
is
you're
true.
as smart as
That's
you are
true.
handsome. But if we refuse to fight, Xehanort will just use the 7 princesses of Heart instead.
Turnips, cries Sora. I won't stand by and let Naughty Nort hurt Jasmine and Belle and Snow White and...
No, actually, we're done with those princesses. It's all about Frozen and Tangled now.
But what happened to...
It's all about Tangled and Frozen. It may be, Moana, eventually. Now go, appease our
God damn it.
shareholders and fight that Xehanort.
Please,
So
our
the 7
shareholders,
Guardians of Light
Jesus.
and Donald and Goofy take the battle bus to the Keyblade Graveyard. They battle against the trillion billion Heartless, and Sora defeats them with a choo-choo train. But then Terra Nort shows up and kills everybody. Oopsie poopsie. Sora wakes up dead in the final world and puts his soul back together by running through an Escher painting and high-fiving himself a lot. He brings everyone back to life and they fight another wave of a trillion billion Heartless. But this time they summon the power of Union Cross and surf on a wave of Keyblades, and the ghost of this guy without pointy anime hair winks at Sora. See?
Okay.
Called it. Yen Sid, tired of
enough.
everyone's incompetence, blasts down from orbit and makes a path through the Heartless.
Moses,
Why couldn't he do
Moses,
that in
I'm
the first
doing a
place?
Moses.
He yells. Finally, after countless games and years upon years of waiting, we have our 7 and our 13 face off against each other.
Wait, I thought Sora was not... So he got it back. Okay,
It's all
that's an
tense
interesting
and quiet,
fight.
and a tumbleweed rolls past. But Xehanort goes,
Lol, nope. Poof, here's a maze.
Sora works his way through Xehanort's last-minute corn maze of cheap suspense and takes out some organization members. He helps turn Terra Nort back into Terra, and Replica Riku kills Dark Riku while Riku watches. And Sora goes, check please. The final hooded member
what?
is revealed Riku while members. He helps turn Terra Nort back into Terra, and Replica Riku kills
Replica Riku kills
Dark Riku while
Riku.
Riku watches. And Sora goes, check please.
Regular Riku is just standing there like, all right, didn't need to do any work. Cool.
Check, please. The final hooded member is revealed to be Xion, and she's evil again. But
Xion.
off screen, Ansem the Wise was able to log into his computer after finding his password underneath the keyboard and put Roxas's Digi-Heart into the replica body, and so Roxas enters the fight. Xion goes, wait, nope, I got my heart back from Sora. Thanks, Sora, I'm good again. And he's like, when did that happen? Whoa! All the while, each fight is bringing Xehanort one shard closer to the Keyblade. Kairi, for the first time ever, is about to do a thing, but before she can, she gets kidnapped. Oh, how convenient.
Okay.
Maybe next time, Kairi.
Kairi's literally
Maybe
doing nothing.
next time.
Again.
Sora's like, heck, I'm not gonna fight and let you summon the Keyblade. I throw down my sword. But Xehanort goes,
that's not how it works.
What if I do this?
Psh, okay, sure. Threaten someone I don't even know.
Oh my god.
This is Kairi from Destiny Islands.
I think I know what Riku looks like.
Pinty girded, your friend is now murdered.
And he kills Kairi. Wait, I think I remember who she is now. No! In a frenzy, Sora defeats the last Norts, allowing Xehanort to summon the Keyblade.
I made this.
Oh yeah, that was the thing I wasn't supposed to do. Whoops, he says.
Now I'll summon Kingdom Hearts and make it purple and drippy,
says Xehanort. Duck noises, says Donald.
So weird.
Says Goofy. Or at least he should have. Mickey, realizing he should probably do something of note in this game, stops time and pulls Sora aside. Hey, so it turns out that most of the organization members you killed were traveling through time, which is why they were back even though you defeated them before. And Xehanort is the portal that lets them do that. That makes every amount of sense. Thank you, Mickey-senpai. Oh no, is that a wave of Heartless I see? Stops it. So they dive into the portal that is Xehanort and wind up in Scala ad Caelum, the stairway to the sky, and prepare for their final, ultimate, you better believe it's gonna be epic, anime showdown. Sora believes in himself, Xehanort turns into a goat, and the player mashes L2 a lot, trying to select anime showdown. Sora believes in himself, Xehanort turns into a goat, and the player into a goat, and
what the fuck? The main villain just becomes a goat?
the player mashes L2 a lot, trying to select
Kingdom Hearts now.
Damn it! Well, at least someone turned into a boat. At last, Xehanort is defeated.
Darn Grummet, my plan was awesome. Everyone was gonna be all like, "Oh, Xehanort, you're so cool."
But you're not so cool, old friend. Everyone gasps with astonishment because it's the ghost of Ericus present. Yeah, this is one detail I probably should have mentioned in the last video. When Ericus died in Birth by Sleep, his little soul particles got caught in Terra's hair, and he's been quietly hanging out inside of Terra this whole time. Xehanort goes,
Heck, I guess you're right. I quit. Let's go get some sushi.
Ericus and Xehanort hold hands and fly off into space, and there goes any chance we had at catharsis. Okay, cool, this is super underwhelming. Sora picks up the Keyblade and swooshes everything back to normal, and everyone's like, hooray! Lee is chilling with Roxas and Xion, Aqua's hanging out with Ventus and Terra, none of whom have aged in 10 years, okay? And Sora goes to Riku and is like, well, spit me out like the pit of a palpu fruit. I can't believe we all made it back in one piece. And Riku goes,
You do remember Kairi died, right?
Yeah.
oh yeah, but if I bring her heart back, I'll be lost forever.
Where does it say that?
It says right here in my dramatic endings for Dingus's book that I ate for lunch. So Sora brings Kairi back to life and fades away. Later, nerds. And just then, Naminé walks over and starts breakdancing. Ow! Meanwhile, Pete and Maleficent actually find the box they've been searching for this whole time, and it turns out to be the Master of Masters box from Union Cross. Remember that one right there? A hooded figure arrives and summons 4 of the 5 foretellers. They're like, sup, Luciu, the other apprentice from Union Cross whose face we've never seen. You were right here in the lineup. Yep, that's you. Why have you portaled us here to the future? Also, we're missing Snake Girl or Rabbit Girl or whatever. And Luciu takes off their hood and reveals themselves to be Xigbar. They apparently didn't die earlier.
They live?
And are Luciu.
Wait, if he lived, wouldn't that mean the Keyblade should have never been made? Huh?
Xigbar, or Luciu, is like, whoops, looks like Xehanort's out of the picture, and I'm the villain now. Hornga's hens, the ride never ends, hee hee hee. And then Sora wakes up in Tokyo, and the guy from Verum Rex is there. Yes, the guy from the fictional game Rex was obsessed with. I do not know. Don't look at me. And that's it for Kingdom Hearts 3. Or is it? Might be. Most of Kingdom Hearts 3 took place in an alternate timeline dreamscape, and there's actually some semi-decent evidence to back that up. I don't know. There's a link in the description.
Kingdom Hearts 4 is gonna be so weird. Kingdom Hearts 4 is gonna be so weird. Why are you on YouTube? Wednesday streams are on YouTube now, Brad. Wednesday streams are on YouTube. Hello. Welcome to the YouTube streams. Wednesday streams are on YouTube. My Friday and Saturday streams are still on Twitch. That's pretty much it. I just made every stream on Wednesday on YouTube just for a change of scenery, you know? Alright, I don't understand Kingdom Hearts lore. We literally watched Kingdom Hearts lore from beginning to end, and I won't lie, don't know shit. I don't remember shit. It's so confusing. Like, yeah, I understand the brief of it, or like the general idea, but yeah, this Kingdom Hearts is one of the games that I enjoy playing. Still don't know the lore. I still don't know what the heck is going on. But sure, we're just gonna swap off. All I remember is Sora is one of the most useless characters ever still. Nothing's changed. Alright, fair enough. Nothing's changed. Alright, let's move on to the complete timeline of Timmy Turner. Or Fairy Odd Parents, which I love Fairy Odd Parents. Freaking Fairy Odd Parents is my favorite Nickelodeon show. I freaking love Fairy Odd Parents. It's so good.
Hi, I'm Lydia, your fairy godtuber. Now, so many of you have requested a Fairly Odd Parents timeline. So
Kingdom Hearts is a fusion of JoJo, Kirby, and Disney. It's a fusion of everything. Kingdom Hearts is so weird.
So I'm here to grant that wish. In this video, I'll be going over Timmy Turner's entire life, from childhood to being an adult. And don't worry, I'll be sticking to the original animated show here. Yep. So I won't be talking about those terrible made-for-TV movies, or that god-awful new show either.
Yep.
So this is the complete timeline of Timmy Turner. So before we chat about how this 10-year-old got his fairy godparents, let's Timmy Turner the clog back, way before he was even born. First of all, there are his parents, who are called Mum and Dad.
My real name is... but everyone calls me Dad.
Now Dad, he's always had a crush on Mum and got super jealous whenever he saw his arch nemesis near her.
Dinklebird.
And decades later, he would continue to hold this grudge against his now neighbor.
Dinklebird.
Anyway, Dad won Mum's heart by winning a foot race and presenting her with the trophy. But later on in the future, Timmy will accidentally destroy said trophy, so he will have to go back in time to try and fix his mistake. And in typical Timmy fashion, he would make a mess of everything, including ensuring he would never be born and his dad would turn into an evil dictator.
His dad will
so
be
to fix this
absolutely
massive
insane.
blunder, Timmy would go back in time again, impersonate his dad and win the race himself and give the trophy to his mom, and so restoring the timeline.
Hi, Mom. I'm Dad. Will you take this girl with me, marry me, and someday have a boy with a silly pink cat? Okay.
Timmy's mother seemed to have the real edge in the relationship, being a secret CIA agent as well as being a double agent before Timmy was born.
A Russian submarine?
I was a double agent.
Mum and Dad eventually got married and were expecting their
became a
very
hillbilly
first child,
family.
a baby girl. But when Timmy turned out to be...
Wait, how did a double agent Timmy Turner mom... Alright, that's really
Timmy,
interesting.
he was stuck with the stereotypical girly things they bought their baby.
They thought he was a girl.
And beside the pink clothing, Timmy was also blessed with some beautifully buck teeth. All because his grandpappy babysat him and let him suck on his pacifier for far too long.
That's not what pacifiers do, but sure, I guess.
Getting his fairy godparents. So, to put it kindly, Timmy's parents aren't the most attentive.
Oh shit.
Go play with this dangerous acid in the street!
They are constantly abandoning him in the care of cruel babysitter Vicky. But in a flashback, we learned that they were actually super doting to him as a child, with Dad never wanting to leave the house, while
they loved him when there was a child. What happened? Yeah, what did happen?
Documenting every moment of his son's life. But when his dad threatens to leave Timmy just so he will eat his spinach in a typical parental joke threat kind of way, a crying Timmy finds Vicky's babysitting leaflet and calls her to look after him. She turns up, pretends to be the sweetest girl in the
He messed up. He
world
messed up.
and even offers to record everything for his dad. So they quickly hired her, and from that moment on, spent pretty much every moment away from Timmy. But like all teenage girls, Vicky was a sadistic monster who loved nothing more than torturing little Timmy and made his life a living hell. However, his life would turn upside down with an angry throw of his magic 8-ball, and like a Pokeball, out popped Wanda and Cosmo.
The old art of Very Odd Parents, I'm happy it got changed to what it is,
They tell him the rules, Daryl's, which states that he can't tell anyone about them. So to keep their identity a secret, they disguise themselves as his goldfish. And Timmy wastes no time in using his magical fairies to get sweet payback on Icky Vicky.
I don't remember.
But the weird thing is
this
when his parents came home, Timmy specifically tells his mum that he wants Vicky to babysit him all the time. A decision I'm sure he definitely regrets now. So this was the original pilot of the show.
To be fair, if Vicky wasn't there, he would never get his Very Odd Parents. So technically,
the Fairly Odd Parents would run for 10 seasons and have a whopping 294 segments.
Jesus Christ,
so with at least one wish per episode, Timmy has had a whole lot of misadventures with wishes blowing up in his face. So let's go over some more of them and the highlights of Timmy's life. Timmy's friends and his love life. While the Fairly Odd Parents began life as a series of shorts for Oh Yeah Cartoons, the full-length series debuted with The Big Problem, and in it Timmy learned a harsh lesson about appreciating childhood. Now Timmy is largely an outcast at Dimsdale, but he does have a few friends, particularly his two BFFs, Chester and AJ. And while Timmy's life is no walk in the park, Chester has it far worse. He's a low-class kid who lives in a trailer park, and his last name even has a cruel twist of irony, as his father, Bucky McBadbat, is considered the worst player in baseball and is forced to wear a bag over his head to hide from public shame. Now, we don't know a lot about Chester's mom, mainly because she also wears a bag over her head. And probably ran out of town to avoid public shame too.
Fair enough.
Which begs the question, why doesn't Chester have his own fairy godparents? His other best friend AJ is arguably the smartest kid in Dimsdale and comes from a pretty rich family. But seeing as he lacks social skills, AJ ends up in the same unpopular club as Timmy and Chester. As well as Chester and AJ, annoying. Timmy does have some other friends, including Elmer and his boy Bob.
Hello, Void. Hello.
And there's also Sanjay. However, there's another classmate that Timmy has his eye on.
Yep,
and that's Trixie Tang. But Trixie, she's the most popular girl in school, and Timmy is definitely not on her level in terms of social hierarchy. Therefore, he needs some help from his godparents, and the first of his attempts to catch her attention is in the...
The funny thing is, wait. He doesn't get Trixie's attention, he gets her attention. That's what makes it so funny. He doesn't get the attention of her, Trixie. He just gets the attention of her, and I'm just like, yeah, no offense, she's crazier. Trixie's crazy, but this chick is like 10 times crazier.
His attempts to catch her attention is in the episode A Wish Too Far. In it, Timmy wishes to be cool, and he got a bunch of new cool stuff to make him look popular.
Yep.
He continues to rudely ask for more and more things to keep the facade going, and after being put on trial and losing his fairies for this, Timmy realizes just how wrong he was. Therefore, he tells the popular kids the truth, which actually earns him a cheeky little kiss from Trixie. Sadly, every time Timmy's on the cusp of winning Trixie's heart, something gets in the way to reset the status quo. Yep. In season 4's Just the Two of Us, Timmy decides to dwindle down his competition to nothing by making himself and Trixie the only two people in the entire planet. And even that doesn't work out because Trixie craves attention.
You're pretty?
Say it again!
Timmy realizes the mess he's gotten himself into and tries to break up with her, but of course, she winds up trying to kill him. Yeah. But luckily, Cosmo and Wanda come to the rescue and undo the wish. But it's finally in season 6 where Timmy finally gets the girl of his dreams. Kinda. The Wishology trilogy came out in 2009 and is pretty much a 3-hour-long Fairly Odd Parents movie. And to cut the long story really short, the darkness takes over the universe and Timmy and Trixie will share a kiss on their lips finally. By the end, the darkness is defeated and it looks like these kids will finally be a couple. Until...
I'm erasing everyone's memory and you'll go back to being the not chosen but to lose a boy.
Yeah,
perhaps it's just not meant to be.
It's just not meant to be.
But alas, there is another girl in Timmy's life who is absolutely mad about him, and that's Tootie. And to say she has a mere crush on the boy would be a huge understatement. She even has a freaking shrine dedicated to him that makes Helga's M.A. Arnold look almost normal.
Dude, Timmy can't get. He either freaking gets the crazy girl, popular girl, her best friend, or a stalker. Like, it's a lose-lose situation for him. He can't win.
Timmy's enemies. Even though he suffered a lot from Vicky, Timmy has said countless times that if it wasn't for her, he'd never have met Cosmo and Wanda. Yep. And while they've had plenty of bad moments, I wanted to talk specifically about one of their key relationship highlights. In season 3's finale, Snowbound, Vicky and Timmy find themselves trapped in a snow cave following an avalanche. And as a result of their desperation for survival, they expose their vulnerability to each other, with Vicky even apologizing. But their friendship didn't last too long when Vicky got mad at Timmy for getting in the way of her getting with the abominable snowman, who actually turned out to be the abdominal snowman. Oh yeah.
My god.
And although Icky Vicky was brutal enough to be the reason why Timmy got his fairy godparents, his perhaps great adversary was his 5th grade teacher, Denzel Crocker. And while plenty of teachers can be mean as hell, Mr. Crocker really takes the biscuit.
Freaking Crocker.
Ever since season 1, Crocker has been obsessively suspicious of Timmy having fairies.
Fairy godparents!
And as we'll find out later in the show, it turns out that he had and lost fairy godparents of his own. And not just any fairies, but Cosmo and Wanda.
The same fairy
In one episode, Timmy even goes back in time to meet the young and kind Denzel, but we find out it was actually due to Timmy who led to the exposure of Cosmo and Wanda, and therefore made them get taken away from Crocker.
It was
But
Timmy's
before this,
fault.
and before the fairies erased his memory, Crocker stole a piece of Cosmo's hair and put it in a DNA tracker, writing fairy godparents exist on the back of it, and therefore sparking his never-ending quest to discover the truth about fairies. So yeah, Timmy is basically responsible for ruining Crocker's entire life. And one of Mr. Crocker's most infamous supervillain plans came in season 2. Here he hacks into Timmy's computer, hoping to record the existence of fairy godparents and therefore send the evidence to every computer in the world. But fortunately, his computer is so slow that it gave Timmy enough time to try and stop him. Crocker then somehow thwarted his own plans with his very special Crocker virus that ended up eating all of the footage. But this is nothing compared to Crocker's finest hour.
So, the funny, what leak was him in the freaking outfit? Dude, he got exposed for being his mother's outfit, which is so weird.
Having kept the secret of his fairies from the public for a full year, Timmy was granted a rule-free wish in the form of a lovely muffin.
Wait. Oh yeah, because Timmy was such a shit freaking fairy or a freaking fairy godchild that they, like, he got a freaking
But Crocker gets his bony fingers on it and captures Wanda to make himself a powerful magical entity, instantly becoming the mad ruler of the world. In order to stop him, Timmy breaks the rules and tells his parents that his fairy godparents exist. This frees Wanda and Cosmo, and Crocker loses all of his powers. Timmy then used his magic muffin to wish for his godparents back and for everything to be restored back to normal. And so lived happily ever after. Until the next time. Now, look. You kids, you have your Avengers and Justice League team-ups, but when I was younger, we had the greatest crossover ever. Timmy and Jimmy Neutron.
I
admit that doesn't sound as amazing now, but back in the day, you better believe we were hyped as fuck for this epic Nickelodeon crossover. But did it live up to the hype? So on to this, I asked cartoon expert Jordan Fringe to help me break down the 3 Jimmy Timmy specials. So take it away, Jordan.
Thanks, Lydia. I love this show, so any excuse to talk about it, I'm there. So, Timmy and Jimmy were the perfect adversaries turned friends in the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour trilogy, with one kid having a ton of power in the world of sci-fi and the other in the world of fantasy. In the first of the trilogy, Timmy wishes to be in the greatest laboratory in the universe to work on his science project, and finds himself in Jimmy Neutron's lab, complete with a CGI makeover. Jimmy walks in, sees Timmy playing...
They did this combo so well because Jimmy actually fits in with this world, and when Timmy fits in with this world, and when Jimmy goes over to the fairy godparents world, they remade him into their art, which is so good.
And uses Timmy's auto poofer that transports him into the 2D Dimsdale. And seeing Timmy in 3D is a bit strange, but funny. In all honesty, I think that it's Jimmy who really works in the alternate universe. I love his 2D style of design. Anyway, Timmy starts playing with Jimmy's inventions, and then he mistakes Goddard, the dog, for a computer game console and inserts a copy of Decimator in it. After he meets Cindy Vortex, who finds Timmy far more attractive and intelligent than Jimmy, they go out on a date where they are all interrupted by Goddard, who, thanks to Jimmy, had transformed into the Decimator video game character. So the couple work together to restore Goddard back to normal, with Cindy even convinced that Timmy planned the whole thing, and they even have a cute kiss. Aww. But the fun's cut short with Mr. Crocker's plans to knock down the big wand containing all the fairy magic in Fairy World. So Timmy and Jimmy band together to defeat Crocker using all their might. The heroes succeed, shake hands, and return to their own worlds. These new friends would later unite in Jimmy Timmy Power Hour 2 when nerds collide. But this time, they would fight each other in order to be Cindy Vortex's date for the Friday the 13th dance. The two battle with Timmy winning with some help from Cosmo and Wanda, and Timmy takes Cindy to his world to officially ask her to the dance. They're interrupted, however, by the anti-fairies and their plan to take over the world. And as it turns out, Jimmy's arch-enemy, Professor Calamitous, entered Dimsdale working with Anti-Cosmo to free the anti-fairies from prison. So Timmy and Jimmy put aside their emotions to stop them, but Timmy accidentally uses AJ's gene splicer to merge Jorgen and Calamitous, creating one horrible monster. It allowed Calamitous to use Jorgen's magic to transform Jimmy and Timmy into snails to conquer Jimmy's world, and creates a bomb big enough to blow up the universe. The boys realize the only way Jorgen can—
What confused me, if he blows it up, it's just a lose-lose situation for him. I didn't understand
free from
this
Calamitous is if they break the rules. And oh boy, do they. They wish for chickens to fall in love with humans and use magic to win rock, paper, scissors, thus enraging Jorgen enough to break him free from Calamitous and deactivate the bomb. And as a special reward, Jorgen makes it possible for Cindy to attend both Dimsdale and Retroville's Friday the 13th dance parties.
Cindy literally just got both. Cindy straight up got both boys, which she knows what she's doing. Get the freaking magic and get the brains, you know?
We have Jimmy Timmy Power Hour 3, the Jerkinators. And with Cindy out of town, our two favorite boys can actually relax and be real bros. Bored after defeating the villains of the multiverse, the duo decide to create their own greatest villain of all time, named Shirley. But Shirley came off a bit stupid, and they decided to abandon him at the mall. And if we know anything about abandoned creatures, it's that they soon come back with a taste for revenge. And that was exactly the case. In their fight for survival, our heroes realized that they made Shirley adaptable and not adoptable, making him basically undefeatable. So much so that when they fire a self-destructive bomb at him, he absorbs Jimmy's brain and the magic of Cosmo and Wanda's wands. All of a sudden, Shirley goes from somewhat of a comedic character into the most dangerous being in the entire multiverse. He even takes parts of both Timmy and Jimmy's universes to create a vacuum that makes both worlds a blank abyss. Luckily, Timmy, Jimmy, and friends eventually manage to outsmart Shirley and succeed in restoring their universes, even giving Shirley a job as a pizza restaurant owner. Overall, this was a pretty decent trilogy with some very fun moments. Nothing incredible or life-changing, but I really appreciated seeing these two Nick shows that had such contrasting styles come together. And as a kid, it blew my mind. Who doesn't love a collab? Now, if you don't mind, I gotta go get back to my Fringimus videos. Thanks so much for having me on though, Lydia.
Thanks, Jordan, and if you want a deeper dive into the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour trilogy, then I'd really recommend Jordan's brilliant video talking all about it on his channel. Growing the Fairy Family. Season 6 started off with a huge special in
I think this is when it started going downhill. When they introduced the baby, I think it started going downhill after this. And then they introduced the dog, the
where Timmy noticed the long-time married Cosmo and Wanda's desire to become proper parents. The reason why they can't is because Cosmo was the last fairy to be born, and Cosmo being Cosmo accidentally destroyed the entire fairy world, and so
Cosmo was the last baby and he was so freaking destructive that they're like, no more.
So it was decided that fairies wouldn't be able to have babies anymore. However, it wasn't explicitly said in the rules that fairy babies aren't allowed. Said Timmy, he wishes for them to have a baby anyway. It all works and Cosmo is actually the one to carry the baby. A weird but super sweet situation. And when the baby finally arrives, Timmy names it Poof. It was also in this episode where we learned that newborn fairies have uncontrollable magical powers, making Poof a target for evil magical groups, like the Pixies or the Anti-Fairies. Eventually, Poof is kidnapped by them to help them destroy the world, but alas, Timmy and Jorgen are there to save the annihilation of the planet. And while Poof is a decent addition to the series and is undoubtedly super adorable, her baby can only add so much to a show.
It kind of made it go a little bit worse.
Speaking of which, the showrunners also had to salvage falling ratings, and Nickelodeon demanded that Butch add more pointless characters, with one such idea being an actual talk.
They start just introducing more and more characters that we didn't.
And I can imagine that meeting going something like this.
We at the network want a dog with attitude. He's edgy. He's in your face.
Therefore, in Season 9, we were introduced to the brand new character called Sparky, who Timmy adopted in the first episode. And if you thought everybody hated Scrappy-Doo, then that's nothing compared to how pissed off fans got over Sparky.
I remember that.
And then
Scrappy
one day,
annoying,
Sparky just disappeared. He vanished from the show, quickly written out, all because everybody hated him.
Yeah.
But don't worry, guys, I actually found long lost footage of his very, very last episode.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
Oh my god.
And if you thought Sparky was bad, then Butch Hartman was like, hold my pencil, mate, because season 10 saw the introduction of Chloe, a new girl in town, and due to a shortage of fairy godparents being available to children, Timmy was forced to share Cosmo and Wanda with her. Chloe was introduced to be a foil to Timmy and to freshen up the show, because that worked so well the first time. But I feel she came in a little too late in the show, and she was just too perfect, and also kind of annoying. Just constantly screaming all the time, you know? As such, her addition was not welcomed by the fans. With the shift, the dumping ground of Nicktoons, falling ratings, and the loss of its creator, the show was finally cancelled for good after 10 seasons. And because of this series never got a proper ending.
Oh, it didn't.
Which is a real shame, seeing as the Fairly Odd Parents was at one point just as popular as SpongeBob SquarePants.
It was more popular,
So to see a show like this with so many good episodes was just really, really sad. And personally, I feel that the ending should have shown Timmy all grown up and not needing his fairy godparents anymore. And in a way, we kind of got that at the end of season 4. Adult Timmy. If there's one episode of The Fairly Odd Parents that most fans agree would have served as the perfect series finale, it's undoubtedly Channel Chasers, the TV special that aired near the end of season 4. What makes Channel Chasers a great ending to the series is that the story arc is about Timmy accepting that he'll lose his fairies one day and will finally have to let go of his childhood. And as much as a blissful escape Cosmo and Wanda have provided for him, they are still temporary and he will have to become an adult in the real world someday. And the opener for the specials is unlike anything we've ever seen on the Fairly Odd Parents before. Chester and AJ are trying to erase the dystopian world they live in 2 decades into the future by creating a time travel belt. However, before using it, a mysterious masked man takes it and is sent back in time by the supreme ruler of the world, Vicky. Meanwhile, in the real world, Timmy starts to get too much into TV and starts using his wishes to emulate the violence and action on the small screen. These actions ruin both of his parents' jobs, thus forbidding him into watching any more TV. So instead of wishing to watch TV, Timmy wishes to live inside of it. Meanwhile, the mysterious masked man enters the portal while Timmy goes through some beautifully animated parodies of classic shows. It's revealed that the masked man is in fact an adult Timmy Turner from the dystopian future. He explains that Vicky used a magical remote to become a dictator and take over the world. And adult Timmy became Vicky's most trusted soldier and was tasked with taking the newly invented time belt to ensure nothing would change. But adult Timmy wants to work with his younger self to stop this future from happening. But their partnership ends when Vicky damages...
Vicky straight up was like, let's give the power to the person. She never knew. She never knew it was Timmy. So she trusted Timmy and then got her ass bit.
The time belt and adult Timmy is sent back to the future. But when young Timmy manages to fast forward his age to 18, he renders the magic remote useless. But before the fairies come to take Cosmo and Wanda away, they manage to de-age him back into being a kid. And Vicky was defeated once and for all. And although Timmy finally got Vicky fired and reached a new understanding with his parents, he decided to wish for the events of Channel Chasers to be erased from everybody's memory. All because he wanted to enjoy the time he had left with Cosmo and Wanda before becoming an adult. While we sadly had to say goodbye to one adult...
This straight up would have been the best ending, but they just couldn't do it.
At the end of the special, we got to see another adult Timmy who was much happier with his life. This Timmy also has 2 kids of his own called Tommy and Tammy Turner, and since Timmy has a job and their mother is absent for unknown reasons, Timmy has a robot modelled after Vicky, of all people, to look after his kids. And with that, history repeats itself, and so Cosmo and Wanda return to help out Tommy and Tammy. Seeing a happy adult Timmy at the end of...
just run it back, you know? Run it back. Just run it back. Alright, we'll watch one more. We'll watch one more. But which one should it be? Should it be... not this one. You know what? Let's go watch the story of Rosalina. So, Very Odd Parents was straight up my favorite Nickelodeon show. SpongeBob was a close, but it was just Very Odd Parents was just so different. So much more different. So much more fun. That it sucks that it didn't end properly, but to be fair, I mostly watched all the I mainly watched Very Odd Parents from the beginning of Very Odd Parents, of course, like not beginning because I just watched reruns, but at the beginning to right before the dog was introduced. Like I watched a bit of the baby, and then I just didn't watch that much TV. Like I watched the good part of Very Odd Parents, so I actually heard of the dog and heard of the girl. I've seen some episodes here and there, but I just didn't really watch it that much. So that part of my part of Very Odd Parents was not there for me. It's just all the good parts. Now we'll watch this and we'll call it for the day. All right, we'll watch how the story of how Rosalina became a tragic princess. All right.
Rosalina left quite an impact on Mario fans after her debut in Super Mario Galaxy. She's the keeper of the Comet Observatory that's been floating through the cosmos, visiting the Mushroom Kingdom every 100 years. And sometimes she'll pop in from time to time to play sports with the others. In this video, we take to the stars to explore the origins of the mother of Lumas, Rosalina. I'm the Mentalk and welcome to Origin Oracle. So go ahead, grab a snack, kick back, and let's head back in time.
I did not play this game, so I have no idea.
Super Mario Galaxy for the Nintendo Wii would be the first time we'd see Rosalina, with Nintendo taking Mario's adventures into space. Even though we've seen Mario hopping around other celestial bodies before, the entire game was structured around the player exploring several different galaxies, hence the name. The story begins at the Centennial Star Festival that's popping off in the Mushroom Kingdom, as all the citizens gather together to witness a comet that passes by the planet every 100 years. Peach sends a letter to Mario inviting him to the castle on the night of the Star Festival, mentioning there's something she wants to give him, and you can tell by how Mario's running toward the castle that he misinterpreted what that something was. I forgot to mention that this game dropped in 2007, and as someone who picked this up on release day, I have to give quick props to this moment. This part where you control Mario passing through the Mushroom Kingdom while all the toads are hanging out in the festival was such a gorgeous opening. I was actually a little disappointed when the next cutscene started.
What could go wrong?
That cutscene features Bowser and his minions performing an all-out assault on the Mushroom Kingdom. They waste no time blowing things up here. He once again comes to kidnap Princess Peach and does this by just lifting her entire castle away from Earth. Can't say he hasn't tried this before though. Mario quickly attempts to pursue them, but gets blasted away by a Magic Koopa and is left to burn up in the Earth's atmosphere.
Damn.
But a mysterious star creature in Peach's...
I won't lie, I prefer Rosalina over Princess Peach. I actually really like
races
Rosalina.
Off to save him. This intro is a lot like Super Mario Odyssey's now that I'm looking at it again. Mario awakens on a time...
If I didn't use Yoshi, if I didn't use Yoshi in most of most Nintendo games, I use Yoshi. But if Yoshi isn't there, I usually go toward Rosalina. That's literally what I would do.
Plays hide and seek with some bunnies before we meet the beautiful Rosalina for the first time. She tells Mario that she watches over and protects the cosmos and proceeds to help him on his quest to find his special one, aka Peach. The mysterious star creature, on the other hand, is called a Luma. Rosalina asks to accompany Mario to give an in-game reason for his new spin ability. Mario is now on a mission to collect as many stars as he can so they can power up Rosalina's Comet Observatory to pursue Bowser and save Princess Peach. That's the gist of the story, and Rosalina mostly just hangs out at the observatory while Mario, Luigi, and the Toads are doing all the work. The observatory itself serves as the main hub and gateway to all the different galaxies Mario will explore, and it has various rooms built into it to show that it doubles as the home of Rosalina and the Lumas. Now, if we truly want to dive into the origins of Rosalina, Mario will have to head into the library periodically as he's collecting stars. Rosalina herself will read a story to Mario and the Lumas, which turns out to be the tale of how she ended up at the observatory and became the mother of Lumas. But in this case, I'll be telling you the story today. So welcome everyone to Mentalk Storytime. Name subject to change. The storybook opens with a young girl discovering an old spaceship with a distressed Luma inside of it. It's emphasized that this takes place a very, very long time ago, and while we're not certain how many years it's been since these events happened, it's safe to say Rosalina is a pretty old soul. Anyway, the girl in the story discovers that the Luma is waiting in the rusted spaceship for its mama, explaining that she's supposed to arrive on a comet. So the girl decides to wait alongside the Luma as they gaze into the stars for any sign of her. But this turns into years of waiting. The girl decides it would be a better idea to fix the spaceship and head into the cosmos to go find the Luma's mother instead. And so their adventure begins. So one day they spot a comet in the middle of space and manage to chase it down in hopes that the Luma's mother is on it. But it just turns out to be an empty ball of ice. So the girl and the Luma decide to stay on the comet as it speeds through space to continue their search. During their journey, the girl expresses that she deeply misses her mother, crying to the Luma because she'll never see her mother again, which seems to trigger the Luma as well because it starts crying for its mama too.
Luma, I want my mama.
But in that moment,
too.
the girl comforts the Luma
so
and vows to take care of it, one of her first motherly gestures. So the two decide to make their comet a little bit homier by building a bunch.
So they made the ice ball, the space ice ball, into their home. I assume it's free. It's just free. Like, it will never get cold, or it'll never get hot. It'll always be cold. Rosalina must really love the cold, by the way.
Bunch of rooms on the surface. And if you're wondering how, apparently below the ice of the comet, there is like a convenient set of tools and furniture, which makes me more curious on how those got there.
Wait, that's true. Where the fuck did she get the brick, the grass? On one side is empty. On the other side is everything you need. Food, materials, chicken, everything you need on the other side somehow.
Than anything else in this story, but I digress.
That's true.
Despite the new home, the girl is still homesick and expresses how much she misses her father, brother, and mother. Sometime after this, a planet appears on the horizon, which delivers more Lumas to the girl's doorstep looking for their mama. This puts the girl in great spirits, and without hesitation, she takes them all in as her children, moving them into the house that her and the original Luma built. More time passes, and with her telescope, the girl gazes longingly at the blue dot that was her home, reminiscing on the different things she used to do with her family, and she breaks down. This is the part of the story where it's revealed that the girl's mother died a long time ago, and is buried under a tree on the hill close to her home. The Luma that's been with her this whole time steps up to console her, and tells the girl that it will transform into a comet that will help her soar through the cosmos. It plummets into the surface of the comet and is reborn as a brand new one, setting course for the girl's home.
Let's go!
It's revealed to the girl that the destiny of Lumas are to transform into celestial objects like stars, planets, and comets once they mature. So she vows to serve as the mother of Lumas until it's their time to shine. And in turn, she finds a new family among the stars. She also decides to return home once every 100 years just to take a moment to visit her original planet and nap in her favorite sleeping nook. I hope you all enjoyed Storytime with Mentalk. Name subject to change.
I like that.
So while this book doesn't explicitly say it's the story of Rosalina, this is definitely Rosalina. The story also doesn't directly mention that Rosalina is a princess, but you can see her castle in the distance that she calls home. Even though reading through this book was completely optional, a story like this wasn't exactly characteristic of mainline Mario titles up to this point. So was this story originally planned for Rosalina all along? The short answer is no, but I gotta talk about the development of Super Mario Galaxy for context first. The key individual behind Rosalina's creation and the inclusion of this story was Yoshiaki Koizumi, who was the director for Super Mario Galaxy. You may be familiar with him as one of the hosts for several Nintendo Directs, and he currently serves as a senior executive officer over at Nintendo. Yes, he's definitely climbed through the ranks since this game. Originally, he studied to become a film director, specializing at Osaka University.
I won't lie, that building's pretty cool. Well, it's a pretty cool building. If you can go out here and just look over, it'll be really cool.
arts in film, drama, animation, and storyboarding.
I see why
Instead, he would end up at Nintendo in the early 90s and worked on the writing that you would find within instructions manuals, which at the time was where you would find most of the story for video games. Prior to Galaxy, he served alongside Miyamoto for several projects, with his first major role being an illustrator for The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past back in 1991. Eventually, Koizumi would become the director for Super Mario 128, a technical demo shown at the Space World event in August 2000 to demonstrate the processing power of the Nintendo GameCube. While this codename was originally used for a proposed Super Mario 64 sequel,
let's go!
The tech demo itself demonstrated up to 128 on-screen Marios walking on a circular board, which for the time was definitely a flex. Both Miyamoto and Koizumi were laser focused on the idea of implementing spherical worlds and rounded surfaces, since it had never been mastered in game development at the time. But Koizumi felt they needed more time to achieve this. Internally, the technology...
Then this was actually insane, wasn't it? Now I think back, like, right now, this, like, anyone can do this. Right now, anyone can, like, go to Unity and probably Unity freaking 5 or whatever and probably pop this up in, like, 15 minutes if you wanted to. But, like, back then, this was actually
technology
insane.
And expertise wasn't there yet. So Super Mario Sunshine was released instead for the GameCube in 2002,
Unreal Engine 5,
developed separately from the project that was Super Mario 128. Even after the release of Sunshine, Miyamoto and other Nintendo executives would be continuously questioned on the status of Super Mario 128. But even though there weren't Mario titles, 128's physics and other technical concepts were incorporated into other big titles like Metroid Prime, The Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, and Pikmin. It wouldn't be until 2005 when Miyamoto finally revealed that the project would blossom as a full Mario title for their newest console, the Nintendo Revolution, which was later officially named the Nintendo Wii. With the new technological capabilities of the Wii, Super Mario Galaxy was inspired by some of the
Wii. I don't know why, I freaking love the name of the Nintendo Wii. Whoever made it is like Fivehead. Is like, you know, Wii, you know, just replace the E with eyes.
Concepts within Super Mario 128, and also managed to have the spherical surfaces they were pining for implemented within it. Miyamoto stated that he wanted to go with the usual Princess Peach kidnapping plotline, but with Koizumi as the director, he wanted to include a little bit more. The game would end up having another set of characters, a princess from outer space, and her family of talking stars. This space princess would be called Rosetta in Japanese, which is named after a type of orbit in astronomy. But this name would be localized in most languages as Rosalina. I couldn't 100% track down why localization teams went with Rosalina as the name, but I can only surmise that they were trying to attribute it to a rose or maybe go with a similar plant theme as Princess Daisy and Peach. But you can also attribute a rose to beauty, and it sounds similar to Rosetta, so maybe they just went with that. If anyone has any information on that, let me know. Interestingly enough, in Italian, they went with the name Rosalinda, which can be associated with the Spanish phrase Rosa Linda, meaning beautiful rose. And speaking of Spanish, in that version, they call her Estella, which is the Spanish word for the tail of a comet, which is also pretty close to the word estrella, which is the Spanish word for star. So this is one of the early design concepts for Rosalina, with a completely different hairstyle and a dress that looked more like what we'd see.
No offense, if that was Rosalina, I don't think anyone would like Rosalina. Thank God
Peach
they
or
made
Daisy
her
wear.
so
At some point, the final design would change most of this, but some of the similarities to Princess Peach were entirely intentional. The development team contemplated having her character be related to Princess Peach, but eventually dropped this idea in the final story. There are a few fan theories surrounding this, but I'll get to that topic later on in the video. Rosalina is also shown to be pretty damn tall. This is her in comparison to Peach and Daisy. Now that I think on it, let's see if we can get a Rosalina Lady D mod in Resident Evil 8.
Wow, Ethan Winters.
In a 2007 interview with Wired, Koizumi would mention that he wanted to go against the grain with Rosalina's story, stating, "For a very long time, it really felt like telling a story in a Mario game was something that wasn't allowed. But I felt in this case that Lumas and Rosalina really needed a story to explain what they were doing out there to give the players a deeper understanding of their presence." So telling her story as a fairy tale by reading the book to all the Lumas as if they were young children at story time just seemed like the mood appropriate way to accomplish this. In another interview with Nintendo Power, Koizumi revealed that he worked on Rosalina's storybook all by himself in the middle of the night without anyone knowing. On top of that, story elements within games were something that Miyamoto wasn't usually too fond of. Despite all this, Koizumi would present the storybook to Miyamoto and express how important it was to him, and soon it would find its way into the game.
You made a knockoff Ouija board out of it. Why? 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 Why?
I think the story of perseverance also ties well into Rosalina's character arc, and I'll round it off with one last quote from Koizumi. In Mario games, there are constantly peaks and valleys of finding a challenge, not being able to get past it, and then getting better and eventually overcoming it. That was the cycle of events that happened in the storybook over and over again, as Rosalina had many disappointments that she eventually overcame with the help of the Lumas. Introducing a story like that, which sort of bolsters the player's feeling that there's hope, that it's possible to persevere, was a really good way to encapsulate all of this. I know at this point this sounds more like an origin video for Yoshiaki Koizumi than anything else, but his contributions to a lot of the game...
I'm happy that he's the one that made Rosalina's story, because unlike freaking Peach and Princess Peach and Princess Daisy, like Rosalina feels so much better because there's actually a big backstory behind her compared to Peach and Daisy, where like, oh, their princess that gets kidnapped or that's completely useless. It's just like, okay, cool, they're there. Like Rosalina is like a G, dude. She's a freaking
games he worked on are absolutely incredible, even as far back as A Link to the Past. I'll include a link to the Wired article in the description if you want to learn more. Or maybe I'll cover it in a future Link video. Wink wink. Okay, that segment was so long that Mario already collected all the power stars and is about to defeat Bowser. Yes, at the end of the game, Mario and Bowser square off at the center of the universe. And as usual,
wait.
At the end of the game, Mario and Bowser...
This reminds me of the Mario Party, where you're literally on the mini boat, and then you're slamming the boat, knock out the other three people. Is that 1 versus 3? And you're just... This reminds me of... This is the one person, and there's like 3 other people trying to make it... Trying to survive on it.
Just square off at the center of the universe. And as usual, Bowser is defeated. Though it looks like from the aftermath of their battle, a planet explodes and forms a massive black hole that begins to consume the entire universe. This ending gets pretty crazy. I remember my shock when it looked like they permanently killed off Bowser here. But in a moment of hope, all the Lumas at the observatory begin to sacrifice themselves into the black hole, including the Luma that traveled with Mario this whole time.
Dude, the Luma's so cute. No, it's so cute.
This actually makes me sad. So their sacrifice reforms space and time, essentially resetting and recreating the universe. Rosalina has one last chat with Mario, while baby Lumas are wailing behind her, and simply tells him that life is a cycle. Baby Lumas eventually become stars, stars eventually die and become stardust, forming Lumas all over again to repeat the cycle.
Dude, Rosalina's that guy I'll sacrifice myself too. Alright, thank you for being here,
With
Catherine.
the universe destroyed and recreated, everybody celebrates, and Bowser is brought back to life, and the game ends with Rosalina thanking Mario. Or maybe she's thanking the player because she's looking directly at the screen. And the game ends beautifully with her returning to the observatory to continue watching over us and the rest of the cosmos.
And the Lumas.
Super Luigi Galaxy!
Oh, hell yeah. So to date, Super Mario Galaxy remains as the game where Rosalina gets the most attention. But she's appeared in quite a few Mario titles since. But before I continue, I want to address some fan theories. As I've noticed with a lot of the comments I've been reading lately, there are a whole host of rumors and misinformation that spawn from the Super Mario franchise.
I love rumors.
It's entertaining to read, to say the least, so I know that if I don't...
Wait, no shot, no shot, wait. You removed the freaking...
Entertaining to read.
The man removed the mustache from Luigi. Dude, Luigi looks so weird without the mustache.
To say the least.
That doesn't look natural. That looks so weird.
I know that if I don't mention this fan theory, people are probably going to wonder why I didn't discuss it. So, there's a famous video from MatPat from the Game Theorist channel declaring that Rosalina is potentially somehow the daughter of Luigi and Peach. And while that video is well produced and does have some good points, there's nothing from Nintendo or the developers from Super Mario Galaxy themselves to support this. The devs did say they were thinking of making Rosalina a relative of Peach, and completely dropped the idea, and I think the connection kind of stops there. And a disclaimer so I don't have to address it in the comments, just because I don't agree with MatPat on this doesn't mean I'm saying that you so I don't have to address it in the comments.
He keeps removing Luigi's mustache.
Just because I don't agree with MatPat on this doesn't mean I'm saying that you watching this should disagree as well. Nintendo could come out tomorrow and say this was their original idea for all I know. I'm simply presenting the facts that are out there, but by no means does that mean you can't enjoy fan theories. But if we do want to play with the idea that Rosalina is still some kind of relative to Peach, I would assume she's more of an ancestor if anything.
Yeah,
in her storybook it's mentioned that she has a brother, and maybe this brother continued the lineage of the Mushroom Kingdom. Anyway, I bring all of this up to say that I don't mind dabbling in fan theories from time to time, especially if there are developer notes or in-game lore to support them, but I'll mostly mention them in passing rather than doing deep dives, though I love reading about them in the comments, so feel free to leave any interesting theories you may have as you watch these videos. In the summer of 2010, Super Mario Galaxy was released for the Nintendo Wii, which seems to be more of a reimagining of the first game. Compared to the original, this one is even lighter on plot, but begins very similarly with Mario and Peach coming together to enjoy cake during the Star Festival, or that's what Peach is calling it. Mario finds the same baby Luma from the first game on his way to Peach's castle, so for those who thought you'd never see him again, here he is. Bowser attacks the castle again and kidnaps Princess Peach, taking her to the center of the universe. So the Lumas aid Mario in pursuing Bowser, which takes him back into space and onto a planet-like ship captained by a big Luma named Lubba. They transform it into a planet-sized Mario head and start exploring the galaxies again with it to collect enough stars to get to the center of the universe. Let's address the elephant in the room then. Why is Lubba here facilitating everything? Where's our hot elderly space princess?
That's true.
Rosalina is more or less absent throughout the entire game except the ending. Yeah, Mario collects enough stars to fight Bowser in the center of the universe and save Peach, and as Bowser's plans unravel, we see the Comet Observatory come into view. It looks like Bowser stole their stars again to set his plans in motion, but with him defeated, the family on the observatory is free once more. Rosalina tells the others that a pole that
I won't lie. I remember this. I'm like, where's Rosalina? Come on now. They locked her away. They locked the best character away. We don't care about Mario Bowser. They locked the best character away for the ending.
Them all together again, which hints that the events of the game take place differently in a rewritten universe after the calamity at the end of the first game, potentially. Some people debate whether this is a sequel after the calamity, which hints that Lena tells the others that a pole that defies time and space would bring them all together again, which hints that the events of the game took place differently in a rewritten universe after the calamity at the end of the first game. Potentially. Some people debate whether this is a sequel, retelling, or just another example of Nintendo not caring about plot and continuity. Either way, the baby Luma takes Mario's hat as a souvenir and everyone lives happily ever after. If you manage to collect 120 stars, we see Rosalina ending story time with the Lumas, implying that the events of the game are a story being retold by Rosalina. Honestly, I always just looked at Galaxy 2 as more levels, and considering how polished this format was, I wasn't going to complain when this came out. I highly recommend these two games if you can get your hands on them. Still waiting for that Switch port for Galaxy 2, Nintendo. After this game, Rosalina does make more appearances, but not as substantial as the two Galaxy games.
From what I see, just play Mario. Just play 1. Don't play 2. All right, don't play 2.
She's an unlockable player character in Super Mario 3D World, but you're gonna have to put in some work before you start playing as her. She can do the spin that Mario does in the Galaxy games, so that's a nice reference, but she isn't available to the player until after you defeat Bowser. Don't sleep on this title though, it definitely holds up. And I want to take a brief second to show off this concept art from Super Mario Odyssey here. I can only guess that they were planning on having Rosalina be some traveling guitarist at some point in that game, which I would have absolutely adored. Unfortunately, this is all that's left of that concept, her in a black t-shirt and some jeans, but I'm loving it anyway. Rosalina's latest appearance as of this video is in Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, which is a great game, but I'm still wondering how this collaboration happened in the first place. This little series is kind of a beast of its own, containing its own world and lore that I'd say is mostly its own thing, with Mario elements and locations sprinkled throughout. Instead of playing as Rosalina in this game though, you play as a rabbit that idolizes her. Rosalina herself is kidnapped by the big baddie in this game. Disappointing, I know. But seeing as there's DLC on the way, maybe there's still hope that she too will be sniping enemies. Rosalina can also be found as a playable character in a bunch of Mario spin-offs and sports titles, a place where the other Mario characters go to die. I'm sorry guys. Mario Kart 8 and Dr. Mario World include playable baby versions of her though, so that's kind of interesting.
Where did they go die? Mario
Kart titles. Rosalina is where the other found as a playable character in a bunch of Mario spin-offs and sports titles, the place where the other Mario characters go to die.
Oh my god,
I'm sorry,
Jesus
guys. Mario
Christ.
Kart 8 and Dr. Mario World include playable baby versions of her, though, so that's kind of interesting.
Baby Rosalina is really
But I'd
cool.
argue her biggest appearance
I like using
outside of
Baby
the main
Rosalina
Mario
more than
titles
regular
was Super Smash
Rosalina because I think she's faster.
Brothers for the Wii U and 3DS. I can't say I ever expected this announcement, but her and the Lumas come to kick ass, and if you guys remember the competitive scene for Smash 4, she was the top of the ranks for a while.
Can I please recover?
Can I please recover? No.
You're definitely dead.
Their mechanics were similar to Ice Climbers in that you could control Rosalina and the Luma individually, and when set up right, the two could easily control the stage. You even get different color Lumas to control, including the black one.
What do you mean by that?
That serves as Mario's guide around the observatory in the very first Super
you
Mario.
can't make that joke. Oh, you can't make that
Galaxy
joke.
game. I discovered his name was Polari, by the way. They never actually said his name in game, so it's one of those things you would have to read in the instructions manual. Rosalina and Luma return for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate because everybody's here, am I right?
Everyone's there. Everyone's there.
So everyone, that is the origin of the Lost Princess Rosalina. I know I didn't cover every single thing, but look no further than the comments section. Is there any Mario fan out there that actually...
That's true. We got it. We got it. I think we'll end it there. There's a lot of freaking story from freaking Kingdom Hearts to freaking Very Odd Parents to this to all the freaking lore we watched today. It's interesting. I'll be back Friday with I'll be back Friday on Twitch again. What will I be streaming? I'll be streaming some Pokemon Violet, but something different, something different. I was gonna end it. I was gonna do a short stream today, but I'll be back Friday. I didn't put on the thing, but I said I was gonna stream on Saturday. I won't be streaming on Saturday. Because that's Anime Expo. But I'll be back on Friday on Twitch. All right, everyone. Hope everyone has a good night. Peace.